It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 18th day of January 2022. Today is National Gourmet Coffee Day, folks. I'm not a big fan. I've occasionally gone to a Starbucks and some of those things. I mean, I like my coffee. I keep a stock of Columbia coffee here, which I like. I use a Keurig coffee maker, and I'm more than happy with that. I have a couple cups every morning. I'm not much for stopping at Starbucks or any of the fancy places. But anyway, today's National Gourmet Coffee Day, so go to it. There's not a whole lot going on in the way of cruises from North American ports today. Just down in West Palm Beach, you've got the Grand Classica. That's, of course, going to be the margarita paradise here in the not-too-distant future. And from Port Everglades, we've got the Emerald Princess. And I don't know if you guys can hear that phone ringing in the background there. That was my telephone ringing, and I'm using my phone as the camera. I thought I had turned the ringer off. Oh, well, sorry about that. If you could hear that, I'm not sure if you could or not. All right, today's headlines. Where is the mainstream media today? From England, Carnival names fleet cruise director. From Miami, Carnival itinerary changes announced, and Carnival starts providing KN95 masks to guests. From out in Clarita, California, Princess extends a program and new COVID protection. And from Rome, Costa becomes the official cruise line for Ryder Cup 2023, and a whole lot more live this morning. By the way, if you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my accessible blog, which is accessadventure.net. You can also get the podcast wherever you listen to your podcasts, all the major places like Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Pandora, Stitcher, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and you'll find the old fat travel guy. All right, I'm really excited about my guest tomorrow. It will be Kelly Norovski, who was paralyzed from the lower chest down 2 months after college. She's been a government contractor, giving safety briefings to the Army soldiers, sailors, Marines, and airmen around the country. She's a professional speaker and has delivered speeches to audience of over 300,000 people, including schools, leadership conferences, as well as military groups. She's an advocate for disability rights, has been a corporate travel agent, and an avid traveler, having visited 46 states and 48 countries since she was paralyzed. That's going to be tomorrow morning live at 11 or via the podcast tomorrow. And I'm really excited about that. Nikki and Roger, our buddies, are on board the Viking Orion in the South Pacific on a South Pacific cruise. They are in Papeete, Tahiti today. And they're the reason for my question this morning. Where's the mainstream media today? The Viking Orion landed in Papeete, Tahiti yesterday. Because no one on the ship tested positive for the virus, Nikki and Roger and the other folks on board were able to escape the bubble and explore independently on Tahiti. They walked over to a little market, did a little shopping. Tomorrow, that's today, of course, out there, they will have an early morning excursion around the west coast of the island. Now, Did you hear that, Jim Walker? How about you turkeys over at the USA Today? And what about CNN? You guys have been slaughtering the cruise industry for 2 months. So where are you today? And where's the reporting about a cruise ship that sailed from Los Angeles to Tahiti and no one tested positive? Fair and balanced news? None of you are fair and balanced. Because I don't see any of you talking about the cruise ship that nobody tested positive for. All you want to do is slaughter everybody about the cases on board and people complaining about being at sea. How about reporting it correctly for a change? I'll be back with the rest of today's news after my blood pressure drops and we get a word from a network sponsor. All right, back with a little bit more from Nikki and Roger. And for those of you that are listening on the podcast, I'm going to show 4 pictures that they sent me. So you might want to check the link that'll be down below in the description of the podcast. Click over to the video portion of this and take a look. But that is Papeete, the harbor there. Looking over at another ship that's in port. That's the Ponant Paul Gauguin. And of course, that's looking back at the Viking Orion. And just a shot of the marketplace there up on the 2nd floor, looking down at the 1st floor as they were able to walk around the marketplace there in Papeete. So thanks to Nikki and Roger for that. I'm jealous. I am really, really jealous. Anyway, sorry nobody else is going to report on that today besides me, because I think it's awesome that you guys have gone that distance without a single positive case. But the cruise industry is doing it all wrong. Just ask Jim Walker or USA Today or CNN. I'm not supposed to rant anymore. I'm supposed to be doing the news. All right, it was announced by Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador John Heel that one of the cruise line's most well-known cruise directors has been promoted to the fleet cruise director. That's cruise director for the Mardi Gras. And they've also announced who's going to be taking his place in the coming months, and that's been confirmed. Mike Pack has been promoted to fleet cruise director, popular leader in making sure guests have a fun-filled vacation. It's been an important figure aboard the flagship Mardi Gras. Chris Williams, known as the Flying Scotsman, will soon return to Mardi Gras to become the ship's cruise director. He was cruise director for Mardi Gras on the initial voyages when the ship began sailing from Port Canaveral back in July, and Mike Pack was on leave for the birth of his child, if you guys recall that. From mid-March, Lee Mason from the Panorama will take on his cruise director duties on the Mardi Gras until mid-July, when Chris Williams returns to the ship yet again. It's also been confirmed that Kendall Fire from Carnival Vista and Chris Donkey Salazar from the Carnival Horizon will be spending some time on board the Mardi Gras to experience the new ship. Could this be a foreshadowing of what's going to happen when the new XL class vessels, the Carnival Celebration and the Carnival Jubilee, come out in 22 and 23, that we might see those names as cruise directors? Maybe. All right, down from the corporate headquarters in Miami, Carnival has also changed some itineraries on 3 popular ships. 4 itinerary changes on board the Carnival Sunrise. Some of you might remember that was my last ship that I got on a week before the pandemic hit. Last one I sailed on until next Monday, and I'll be on a different one. I'll be on the Freedom of the Seas starting Monday. It'll be the first of 3 weeks at sea for me. All right, this includes on the Carnival Sunrise. This includes 2 cruises in 2022, 2 cruises in 2024. On March 5th, 2022, sailing substitute Cozumel for Costa Maya. Pretty simple. The vessel will first visit Belize on March the 8th, then Roatan, Honduras on March the 9th, and Cozumel on March the 10th. They've taken Costa Maya off the itinerary. Then on the October 22nd, 2022 sailing, the original itinerary would have sailed from Miami to Nassau, Half Moon Cay, and Grand Turk. For that cruise, Half Moon Cay has been replaced with Princess Cay. Finally, 2 cruises in 2024 have seen changes. The February 1st and the March 14th cruises on board the Sunrise in 24 were scheduled to visit Half Moon Cay and Nassau, but instead will sail to Princess Cay and Nassau. 2 changes from the Carnival Freedom in 2023 in January 8th sailing. That's an Eastern Caribbean sailing from Miami. The voyage has been scheduled to sail to Princess Cays, Grand Turk, and Puerto Plata. This has now been changed to Half Moon Cay on January the 9th, a day at sea. Amber Cove, that's, 7 miles from Puerto Plata, on January the 11th, and Grand Turk on January the 12th. The second cruise to be changed is an Eastern Caribbean cruise sailing February 25th, 2023, from Miami, where the call to Grand Turk on March the 3rd has been replaced with a call to Amber Cove. And finally, the Carnival Radiance has also seen 1 change to the December 19, 2022 cruise from Long Beach. The voyage will call in Ensenada the day after leaving Los Angeles instead of having a sea day first. These changes could be from port requirements, such as the maximum number of ships allowed in a port in any one day. It could also be a case of fuel economy, where changing ports would impact sailing speed and thus fuel consumption. Also, keep in mind that itineraries are never guaranteed when booking a cruise. Ports of call can always be canceled by either the cruise line, such as the case with these changes from Carnival, or even en route to a destination if the captain and officers feel there is a need to do so. Like I've been canceled out of going to Grand Cayman probably 4 or 5 times because of high winds, high waves, and weather. Or, as we have seen recently, canceled by the port itself for protocol reasons, for instance. Carnival has started to offer guests complimentary KN95 masks to be worn inside the vessels. These masks are an upgrade to the standard surgical mask and cloth masks that have been the standard during the pandemic. Recently, several cruise lines, including Carnival, have started implementing strict mask mandates on their ships to limit the spread of COVID-19 and the Omicron variant. With cruise lines mandating masks in nearly all environments on the vessels, Omicron has proven to be a genuine concern. The move from Carnival is undoubtedly understandable. It will hopefully help with managing caseloads on board the vessels. Carnival Cruise Line is implementing a new mask policy for vessels currently operating. The current policy is in place through January 31st and dictates that all guests ages 2 and older must wear masks at all times when inside the vessel. The only exceptions are when the guests are in the stateroom or actively eating or drinking. That probably is going to be extended into February soon. During gatherings outside, a mask is mandatory when physically distancing cannot be maintained in large groups. Guests should also wear masks when embarking and leaving the vessel, including during ports of call. And folks, my advice again, if you're not going to follow these protocols from the cruise lines, don't cruise right now. Go to a motel someplace. Forget cruising. If you want to follow the protocols as they're laid out and as they could change daily, then by all means, go cruising. I am. Got to be flexible because the way everything is today could be totally different tomorrow, and you got to roll with the punches. All right, Princess Cruises, that's out in California, is their headquarters. They're offering prospective guests reassurance by extending the line's Book with Confidence program through September 30th of 2022 for all cruises booked by March the 2nd of 2022. This will permit interested guests more flexibility with their travel plans, knowing their cruise vacation investment is protected if the plans change in the upcoming weeks. The program allows guests to change their vacation plans up to 30 days prior to departure, receiving cancellation fees as a future cruise credit to then book another voyage when the time is right. As a new feature of the Book with Confidence program, Princess Cruises is also introducing COVID-19 protection program. This program operates solely within 30 days of sailing all the way through to the end of the guest cruise and is designed to assist booked guests if they may be unable to travel to the embarkation port, be denied boarding with quarantined on board, or be disembarked early. The COVID-19 protection program is in effect should a booked guest test positive for COVID or be suspected of having tested positive, or if their travel plans are disrupted due to government travel restrictions put in place within 30 days of embarkation. If a guest cannot take their cruise due to COVID-related reasons, they will receive a future cruise credit for 100% of the cancellation fee amount of the non-refundable unused services and a refund to the original form of payment for all taxes, fees, port expenses, and prepaid onboard experiences and shore excursions through the Princess Cruise Lines. A similar prorated future cruise credit will be given should a guest test positive while on board their cruise, and Princess Cruise Line will also cover shoreside expenses for COVID-related medical care included during the required post-disembarkation quarantine period. This includes air change fees if travel plans need to be changed for a guest to return home. One more cruise ship has been forced to cancel its Caribbean voyage due to COVID-related circumstances, and this one's a little bit confusing. The German-based cruise line TUI has informed guests booked on the 14-day Caribbean voyage of Mein Schiff 2, which was scheduled to depart Bridgetown, Barbados yesterday, that the cruise has been canceled. The reason for the short notice cancellation is that several COVID cases were identified on board the cruise ship, affecting important service operations. The boarding of around 800 guests was planned for yesterday in Barbados, many of those flying in from Germany. The ongoing cruise operations with guests will remain unaffected. They were already at sail. They sailed from La Romana in the Dominican Republic. They had about 800 passengers already on board. So that's going to continue on, but the 800 or so coming in from Germany got canceled out at the last minute. The reason for the cancellation are individual cases of COVID that were identified during routine tests on board in accordance with the process of mind shift health concept. All affected individuals have been immediately isolated in a specialty prepared area. There is no need to worry. All positive cases have only mild symptoms. The safety of the guests and crew is in no way endangered. So that happened down in Barbados just as they were supposed to sail yesterday. Currently, there are 1,800 guests and around 800 crew members on board Mein Schiff 2. And finally, a nice positive story. Costa Cruises has been signed on as exclusive partnership and has become the official cruise line of the Ryder Cup 2023, the most important team golf tournament, which will take place for the first time at Marco Simone Golf and Country Club in Rome, Italy, from 29th of September to the 1st of October 2023. Following the announcement, Costa has also presented a special offer designated specifically for all golf enthusiasts. The new cruise and golf format makes it possible to combine a unique golf experience with the relaxation and fun of a Costa cruise aboard the most innovative ship in the Costa fleet, the Costa Smeralda. By booking a cruise and golf enthusiasts will have the opportunity to play in some of the most beautiful clubs in Italy, France, and Spain during the stops of the ship and destinations visited. In the meantime, families on vacation with them will be able to enjoy the services on board or go to the discovery of wonderful places thanks to the excursion organized by the company. So that's pretty cool for Costa and the Ryder Cup in 2023. All right, let's go over and see who's fussing at me this morning in the chat room. Jack's with us from Conroe, Texas. 58 degrees and sunny. That's a little better than yesterday's 46, I think it was down there. Jack says, my stay today will be brief. I have to go to the Conroe Veterans Clinic to have my CPAP recalibrated. No, sorry about that. Well, but that's something that needs to be done. Carol's with us. Hey, Carol. Gretchen's here. Gretchen's up in Ohio and all that snow. We're still snowed in here in Virginia as well. Hopefully my niece, I think, was trying to go out just a little bit ago. Be the first one of us out of the house so far here in Virginia. Of course, everybody's saying hello back and forth. Cruising Pete's with us. Pete says, good morning from a chilly UK. Elizabeth's here. Hi, Elizabeth. I did hear from Elizabeth this morning. She's fussing about the Wi-Fi on board the Meraviglia. She's in Ocean Key today and on the passenger Wi-Fi instead of the crew Wi-Fi, and it's not much better than the crew Wi-Fi, she was telling me. So yeah, they're in Ocean Key in the Bahamas. But she did say, by the way, folks, I don't know if she's going to say that in the chat room or not, but she finally has some sunshine on her balcony. So she was happy about that this morning. Hot Air's with us. Hi, Hot Air Tom. Good to see you, as always. Pete says, not long before Chillie hits the seas again. Yep, we're inside a week. Getting excited. 6 days. I'll be there. I got my test right here. By the way, if Kenneth is in the audience today, this is the test that you got to take, Kenneth. It's got to say it's the Abbott Binex Now COVID-19 AG card. It's got to have that AG card home test on it. So that's my test, which I will be taking Saturday. Of course, a lot going on this week. Cindy's with us. Hey, Cindy, good to see you today. Which Jade cruise next January are you booked on, Pete? He's asking Pete that one. Pete says, I so wish but I could not get a good deal on Primo. She looks amazing. Elizabeth says, hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be able to hear the broadcast live finally. Well, I'm glad you could hear me for a change. That's amazing. Amy says, I love it when you rant. And I totally agree with you. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. The Primo was decent. One booking, then went sky high. Emily had a booking but canceled. Pete says, I'm always fair but rarely balanced after a drink or two. Yeah, I hear you, Pete. I'm just, man, I tell you what, I'm tickled pink for the Viking and having 0 positives. That's awesome. And I'm dead serious. Why are the media? Why aren't they talking about that for a change instead of crucifying the cruise lines and those of us that are trying to cruise? Cindy says, Prima and Viva look awesome, but I agree, way too pricey. Pete says, if you want to see high fares, just check the January 2023, Cape Town to Dubai, Dubai to Athens cruises. Glad, I lost that. Glad you booked them somewhere. Glad I booked them with huge increases, but before the huge increases. Elizabeth says, once I'm out of quarantine jail, I will post photos. I can only get Wi-Fi on my laptop right now and not on my phone. And the photos you tried to send me this morning still haven't come through, Elizabeth. I know you tried to send me some. I still haven't got them. So, yeah, that's the Wi-Fi sketchy on the Meraviglia. We'll have to remember that for the middle of March, folks. Cindy says, hoping Donkey will be the cruise director when I'm on Mardi Gras or on Celebration. Love him. People were fussing on the Silhouette roll call that the ship has no CD. Apparently, the CD and her husband, the cruise director and her husband left the ship at the prior cruise from the current end of contract, no work on replacement. That's unusual for celebrity. They're usually have that covered. Then a discussion ensued between people. They say their cruise does not get affected by the cruise director, and others say they will cancel. Lots of drama. Wow. Oh, good. We've been sex bombed again here. This is a different one. Patrick Tate. So we know what to do with that, don't we, folks? That one gets blocked. Boom. Cindy says, so excited for your upcoming cruises, Chillie. My next one is 41 days on Royal Caribbean Independence of the Seas, booked in a balcony. I've been on a junior suite and grand suite, hoping to get one of those. That would be awesome, Cindy. Looks like I will have an 11-day cruise to nowhere. Ports look like they might be cruise ship only tours, and I don't have funds for more ship tours with doing the Bliss right now, right after. Understood, hot air. Emily's here. Says howdy to everybody. Maybe I might have been too wrong on Patrick Tate. I thought that was one of the sex bomb sites. Patrick Tate, if I did you bad there, I'm not. I apologize. The OIP is also a faster way to communicate through the internet. Oh, there was. Okay, I might have done that too quick, so I've got to go back and fix that one after I get off the air. My apologies to Patrick Tate that I blocked you out in the chat room. I will fix that soon. Yeah, that was my screw up. I will go back and fix that. Elizabeth says, I totally agree. Right now, we should all be grateful we can cruise and enjoy the ships and all they have to offer. Flexibility is definitely the key. There's Kenneth. Hi, Kenneth. Good morning to everybody. Thanks for the information on the testing. Okay, I was flashed out again today, too. Katie's with us. Hi, Katie. Good to have you here. Chillie's Cruises look like a sex bomb to me, too. I was just playing with him. Okay, then maybe it was. There's Nikki. Good morning to Chillie and gang. Hi, Nikki out in Tahiti. Thank you for the pictures, and thank you for the information on nobody testing positive. That's awesome. So anyway, that's going to wrap me up for today, guys. Busy week ahead. I'm really looking forward to the interview tomorrow morning. She is, from what I'm told, is a phenomenal speaker. So it should be fun. I will say that. So that's going to wrap me up for today, guys. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, wear your mask when you go out. Try not to get in any trouble out there, folks. Try to be as safe as you can. And think about cruising, and one of these days we'll all meet on the high seas. That's it for today. This is the Old Fat Travel Guy. Have a fabulous day. I'll see everybody at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow on Travel and Cruise Industry News, live or podcast. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.